You learn early on that the prep room doesn't lie. If something moves, it moved. If something shakes, there's a reason. No superstition, no hysteria, just physics, equipment, and gravity. At least that's what I used to believe. Until the night the table began to shake and nothing else did. It was a Thursday evening, quiet. I was alone in the prep room, working on a coroner's case, autopsy complete, time to suture and prep for presentation. Male, early 50s. Natural causes, no trauma. I'd already completed arterial embalming earlier that afternoon. The body had good response, color returned to the face, limbs softened just enough for positioning. By 7 p.m. I was finishing the final step, suturing the Y incision. Anyone in this field knows the rhythm. You pull the tissue together, layer by layer, careful not to over-tighten. Cotton strips, curved needle, clean work. It's slow, steady, meditative. The embalming machine had been powered off for over an hour. No vibration from that. Ventilation silent, phone on silent. No music, no background chatter. Just me, the body and the table. I was mid-suture when I felt it, a soft vibration, barely noticeable at first, almost like a hum through the soles of my shoes. I paused, looked down. The stainless steel prep table was trembling. Not violently, not like a dropped instrument clattering across the surface. It was consistent, like the low rumble of an idling engine, except there was no engine. I placed my hand flat on the surface. It was shaking, just slightly, a subtle rhythmic thrum. But only the table. The sink was still. The light fixtures didn't sway. No overhead vent movement. No ripple in the sanitizer basin beside me. Nothing else was moving. Just the table. And the body. I went into default mode. Logic first. I checked the legs of the table. Wheels locked. Nothing uneven. Ran a level under the frame. Nothing. I unplugged every socket in the room. Embalming machine. Auxiliary light. Even the radio. Still, the table hummed beneath my hand. Not loud. Not aggressive. Just enough to say, I'm here. I stood perfectly still for a moment, watching the suture line. And that's when I realized the vibration was centered directly beneath the chest cavity. Nowhere else. Not at the feet. Not at the head. Just the core. Right under the sternum. Right where the heart used to be. I'm not a superstitious man. I've done this work for over 20 years. I've embalmed suicides, overdoses, infants, elders, even exhumations. I've dealt with gases escaping from the lungs, air shifts from gastric pressure, twitch reflexes from residual nerve response. But this was none of those. The body wasn't twitching, it wasn't reacting, it was perfectly still, hands folded, eyes closed, jaw set. But the table beneath him vibrated like a silent warning, like whatever he carried into death hadn't settled. I wanted to step away, but I finished the suture. Because that's what we do. Respect, dignity, follow through. Still, I never took my eyes off his chest. By the time I tied off the last stitch, the vibration stopped. Instantly. No slow fade. Just silence. The kind of silence that feels too sudden, like something left the room. I cleaned the incision site, tucked the arms, and covered him. Then I stood there for a long time, staring at the table. I checked the power grid the next day. No outages, no flickers, no nearby construction, no tremors recorded. Just an autopsy case. And a table that trembled, like it remembered something the rest of us never saw. People ask sometimes if we ever feel afraid in this work. I always tell them no. We're trained, we know the signs, we respect the dead. But that night, I didn't feel fear exactly. I felt watched. Like something wasn't finished. Like something beneath that skin wanted to speak, but didn't have a mouth left to do it. And so it whispered through steel. Thank you all for joining me on these journeys. Your support means everything, and I love reading your reactions and personal experiences in the comments. If these stories kept you on the edge of your seat or gave you chills, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more haunting stories. Have you ever experienced something similar? Or perhaps you have your own unexplainable story to share? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Each of your stories adds another layer to our growing community of horror enthusiasts. And if you think someone else might enjoy a good scare, don't forget to share this video with them. Stay tuned for more spine-chilling stories, and remember, sometimes the scariest tales are the ones that could happen to any of us.